Hello, Matthew Should Know screencasters, and welcome back. Today, slightly different music, same horrible graphics. It must be Matthew Should Know. Hey, welcome. Today we're hopefully going to take the sting out of division. Division. I know, friends, division can be one of the most challenging bits of mathematics that we do as young mathematicians, but I think taking our time, going step by step, that helps to take a lot of the anxiety out of what we're doing. And if we're working neatly, we're working carefully, we should be getting right answers. Let's take a look. First of all, what we talked about in class today, I talked about this, graph paper, or as I like to call it, life-changing paper. I love using life-changing paper to make sure that all my columns and all my pieces of my division are all nice and neat and in straight lines. And believe me, friends, in sixth grade, well, maybe even all the way to the 200th grade, when we start getting sloppy, that's when we start making errors with division. And plus, if you're like me and sometimes you get a little bit distracted here and there, maybe your wife has a honey-do list that you have to take care of that you can start thinking about while you're doing the math, it helps to stay in order so that your brain fires correctly. All right. Thinking about division, what's it look like? To me, it looks like these 5 steps. Step 1 is to divide. In our screencast example, we have 75 divided by 3. How many times does 3 go into? First of all, I'm going to look in that first column, the 7, and I can work there. There's numbers times 3 that give me something close to 7 without going over. In this case, it's 2. So I would go then to the multiplying part and say 2 times 3 equals 6. Writing 6, in this case, as a yellow golden 6. Then what do I do next? I subtract. I subtract 7 minus 6, and I get 1, which is helpful in this spot. I like to hit the pause button in the subtract step and compare what I'm dividing into, 75, in this case 3, to what is remaining, 1. And if the number is less than 3 in this case, 1 is less than 3, I'm heading in the right direction. If it were greater than, I'd have a problem. I'd have to go back and start all over again. Well, after I've done the subtraction step, I'm going to bring down the next column. In this case, it's a 5, which now makes the number 15. I now repeat, and I start from the very top by dividing. Some number is going to be divided by 3 to give me 15. Oh, isn't that 5? So I multiply 5 times 3, I get 15. I go to the subtract stage, I subtract 15, I now have 0. And once I have a 0 down there, sometimes I do, and today I'm not going to, but sometimes I do, I'm done. And it's nice to be done with a math problem, especially a division problem. Let's step into one. How about this one right here? Again, I wish I could be using life-changing paper, but I'm just going to use our screencast screen plane anyway. So we got 878 divided by 31. When I'm setting this up on a piece of paper, or in this case, a screencast, I like to work on the left, and on the right, over here, I leave space for plenty of work. And the work's going to be multiplication. All right, I need, first of all, is there any number that goes 31 times 7 that gives me 8? Well, not a whole number. So I'm going to have to go one more column over and include the 7. So I have 87 now. Okay. So I'm working right above the 7. If I had columns, it would look like this. Oh, nice and straight. Perfect, I guess. 31 times some number that gives me 87 without going over. Well, I'm going to try to carefully multiply, and this is where my work is going to be done to the right side. I'm not going to erase it because it can come in handy later. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. So I have 62. Some people might say, well, why don't you try something else like 3? Okay, I will. Even though my math brain was firing as soon as I said it, but that's not going to work. I'll show you why in a second. 31 times 3 is 93. And if you remember Mrs. Carlson teaching me my math facts, I knew right away 3 times 3 was going to be 9. 9 in the tens column is 90. That's more than 87. That was going to be too big. All right, so 2 it is. Goes in there. So now I'm going to multiply. 31 times 2 is 62. I subtract. 7 minus 2 is? And 8 minus 2, is 6, is 2. My brain just jumped right ahead. I subtracted. Now I bring down this 8. Bring down step. And now I repeat. And now I'm going to go to this column right here, just moving 1 to the right each time. So some number times 31 gives me 258 without going over. All right, well, what if we tried 8? Because I know that 3 times 8 is 24. So that should get us pretty close. Let's try 8. 8 times 1, of course, is 8. As stated earlier, 8 times 3 is 24. That's perfect. So now I can multiply. 8 times 31 gives me 248. I can do my subtraction step. 0 there. In the tens column, I have a 1 and nothing over there. And today, 6th graders, and anyone else listening to the screencast, 200th graders, today I'm going to stop. Today we're going to call this a remainder of 10. That we have left over, and say that I've accomplished this division problem. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you do it. Tomorrow on the screencast, we're going to be talking about, we're not really done there. But today, I'm done. Remainder 10. And since I said we're done, I'd like to check out our viewer mail. I got an email from Joey G. And Joey G writes, and Joey G is an old friend. Nice job on the screencast, Mr. S. Keep up the great work. Joey, you keep up the great work. Everyone out there in screencast land, you keep up the great work. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the maths you should know.